2022, when Moist Esports won the Rocket League Major, the Spring Major, still one of the best moments I've ever had streaming. I peaked at 75,000 live viewers. It was a very long stream that I did, and it took home 11.7K for that whole stream. Roughly 2,000 subs, but most of it came through ads, and most of those subs were fines. Subbing on Twitch is far more common than members joining on YouTube. Membership on YouTube is the equivalent of a Twitch sub, where someone on YouTube pays $1. So like a tier 1 sub on YouTube for my
channel. I'm down like literally 7K.
Channel is $1. On Twitch, the minimum's 5, but it's the same concept. You pay money, and it's a subscription basically, and that is so much more common on Twitch. So 2,000 subs on that Twitch stream is more than I've ever got through a YouTube live stream by a large margin. And 11.7K is the most profitable stream I ever had in my entire 7 years on Twitch. I actually streamed on Justin TV before it became Twitch. I used to do like World at War Zombies on there and shit, but then I took like a long hiatus and then came back in like 2016. But this was the biggest stream I've ever done. I then switched to multi-streaming last year. And what I've learned is Twitch is much higher potential to earn money while live than YouTube. And it's because of things like the Twitch Primes, which have become a pretty integral part of the Twitch ecosystem, and ads. Twitch actually has more ads than YouTube, and thus, since more ads are playing, that's more money being generated from those ads to the streamers. There's so fucking many ads on Twitch. They pump ads out the wazoo, and they are so intrusive. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple of years, Twitch integrates a system into their player that has like eye tracking capability, so if a viewer looks...
Okay, well, it's saying to multi-stream. How to multi-stream then? How to multi-stream?
I just spent a few weeks multi-streaming, and what I learned is most services and tools absolutely fucking suck. Setting them up is annoying, finicky, and painful, but by the end of this video, you won't have to worry. You're going to go from having no idea how to multi-stream to understanding the two main and best ways to start multi-streaming to any platform you want, as well as how to set them up yourself and why you pick one or the other. But before we get into all of that, thank you so much to our sponsor, Owned. Owned, your one-stop shop as a streamer, has created an entire scene into the video. Before we get into the core setup, we need to understand the two different ways to multi-stream, relay versus direct, and why you want to choose one or the other. First, relay. This means you're streaming from OBS, for example, to a service like Restream, for example, and then that service will stream to the platforms you link to it. The pro of this is that you're just encoding and streaming one stream and letting the service handle the rest. This means no added stress on your PC or internet. Another great pro is Restream will combine your platform's chats for you and even give you a browser source to put it on screen for viewers. It looks like ass, but hey, it's better than nothing. Now, the cons though are pretty rough. For starters, services like Restream tend to lock really important features behind paywalls. They tend to be horribly unstable, constantly crashing one or multiple platforms, and when that happens, they don't have any disconnect protection, which means sometimes they start up a whole new stream. That all sounds pretty bad, but worst of all, they lock your stream quality to the lowest common platform. For example, Twitch's max bitrate you can use is between 6,000 to 8,000, but on YouTube, I can stream as high as 20,000, 30,000. I can do whatever I want, which I actually need to do because 1080p 60 FPS actually looks kind of garbage at 6,000, especially if there is a lot of motion, which a lot of you guys play very motion-heavy games. 1080p simply requires a higher bitrate than Twitch can currently provide, which is a problem if you're multi-streaming a relay to Twitch and YouTube. It will lock that YouTube stream to Twitch's standard, making YouTube look far worse. And even worse, it will actually destroy the YouTube VOD quality, essentially eliminating one of the main benefits of multi-streaming to YouTube. Now, we get around this instead by doing the second type of multi-streaming, direct. Essentially, you'll use a plugin. In today's case, it's ATEM to create several streams that go out to different platforms. The major pro here is the ability to customize the settings for each platform. But also this means you're adding more stress to your PC and internet as you're literally streaming to multiple places. Another con is that the plugin only works with OBS because Streamlabs locked plugin support behind paywalls before streamers to pay their money and use their terrible services, like their shitty multi-streaming tool, or the fact you have to pay them a ridiculous subscription just to change their bot's name to a custom account name. Everyone else does that for free, Streamlabs. What the fuck? With that difference explained, let's quickly cover setting up a relay like Restream, and then I'll cover ATEM as well. There are time codes in the description if you need to skip ahead, of course. First things first, you'll need a Restream account, so head to restream.io and log in. You'll want to head to the homepage and click Stream via RTMP. This means essentially you're streaming from OBS to Restream rather than using their built-in studio. For the love of God, don't use their studio. I'll explain why in a second. Once you've selected that, you'll click Add Channel and start in a second. Once you've selected to Restream rather than using their built-in studio. For the love of God, don't use their studio. I'll homepage and click Stream via RTMP. Restream, and then I'll cover ATEM as well. There are time codes in the description if you need to skip ahead, of course. First things first, you'll need a Restream account, so head to restream.io and log in. You'll want to head to the homepage and click Stream via RTMP. This means essentially you're streaming from OBS to Restream rather than using their built-in studio. For the love of God, don't use their studio. I'll explain why in a second. Once you've selected that, you'll click Add Channel and start adding the platforms that you want to stream to, such as in this case, YouTube and Twitch. Now, Restream has a limitation of only allowing 2 platforms for their free version, and they also say they'll add a watermark. This isn't true. It's only adding a watermark if you use the built-in studio version that I told you not to use. But the way they've written this is clearly designed to trick people into buying the paid service to remove the watermark, and that pisses me off. Mostly because it tricked me. That tricked me, yeah, it got me. They made me pay 45 Australian dollars to test this tool. Once you've added the platforms and streams, sometimes Restream will change your stream title and go live notification to their default one. I don't know why they do this, so make sure you double check and edit your settings, particularly if you're streaming to YouTube. You'll want to click the ... click edit, and make sure the event you select is the next scheduled YouTube stream. If you don't have one scheduled, I'll link a video in the top of the description that covers all of YouTube streaming and shows you how to set up a scheduled stream and why it's so important. Once your platforms are added, toggled on, and
awesomed. I did not see the chat. Hello, awesomed. I'm gonna pop out this chat because I cannot see it. Pop out this chat. Okay, awesome, awesomed. This thing is lagging, man.
and the settings look correct, we need to tell OBS to stream to Restream. So open OBS, go to settings, stream, and click the drop-down service, find Restream IO, and log in with the connect account button. Now, when you click start streaming, it will stream to Restream, and Restream will stream to the toggle on and connected accounts you'll see in this list. You can even click this button right here to see all of your chats merged together. Now, one thing I noticed was that if I tried to go live before the YouTube stream scheduled time, even by a minute or two, Restream would absolutely panic and glitch out and not be able to go to it. So make sure you're going live at the right time, and again, make sure you're capping your stream settings inside OBS to Twitch's recommendations, as it's the lowest quality platform. So with that out of the way, let's talk about direct multi-streaming. As I said, today we're doing that with a plugin called ATM, which adds this amazing dock to your OBS and just kind of makes multi-streaming insanely easy. No joke, when I decided to set this tool up, it was about 5-10 minutes before I was supposed to go live, and I installed it, had it all set up, and I went multi-streaming. Nobody knew a difference. Well, that's not true. Everyone knew I was using a new tool, so I wasn't crashing every 3 seconds. Thanks, Restream. So you're going to go to my link in the description and download the plugin for OBS. Once it's downloaded, make sure your OBS is closed and simply run the installer that downloaded. It's incredibly easy. Once that is done installing, open OBS back up, and you should have the ATM multi-stream dock. But if you don't, head to the docs at the top, click ATM multi-stream, and it will add the dock. That said, you may also have several dock, but if you don't, head to the docs, my link in the description, and download. Kind of makes multi-streaming insanely easy. No joke, when I decided to set direct multi-streaming, as I said, today we're doing that with a plugin called ATM, which adds this amazing dock to your OBS and just kind of makes multi-streaming.
ATM multi-stream is what it is, I think. Let's see, ATM multi-stream. This thing is fucking lagging, man. Low, la la la, low, 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 la la la, la 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 la. I'm streaming. I'm trying to stream on both YouTube. I'm trying to download something that allows me to multi-stream. Stream on all platforms. Hello, hello, hello. But I think my stream lags when it's on my YouTube though. It's lagging. It's lagging. But probably by a little bit. Do 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 do.